Comcast Business Hotline. Bounce forward.
And Adam Schefter is brought to you by DraftKings. DraftKings is giving away up to $100 million in prizes to all their customers. Download the DraftKings app and sign up using code FANATIC. Then enter a free football survivor pool. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
And here is the aforementioned Adam Schefter. Shefty, what's happening, buddy?
Good morning, guys. What's going on?
You tell us what's happening.
Well, we are close to my single favorite day of the year. Not Hanukkah, not Christmas, not my birthday. The NBA fantasy draft tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern.
Shefty, I will be texting with you throughout the day. You already told us you have the number 1 overall pick, so I know you're pumped up about that. And you already told us who you're taking.
I'm going to announce it exclusively here on your station. Okay, this morning. In a never-before-heard announcement, Per Sources is planning to take Luka Doncic with the first overall pick.
Can't go wrong there.
I'm a little surprised. I'm not sure if I would have gone there, but I did a show on here last night, Beers with Bob, sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. Luka Doncic is the betting favorite to win NBA MVP.
Well, so let me ask you a question. If he's the betting favorite to win the NBA MVP, why would he not be the number 1 pick in fantasy drafts?
I hear you. I when you mentioned it to us, as soon as the name came out of your mouth, though, Shefty, I have to admit I was kind of surprised by it. But if I dug deeper and deeper and deeper,
I support you, Shefty.
I would probably be more supportive.
Let me say this also. The other guys that you would consider at that spot, James Harden is getting ripped on social media last night for looking like Eddie Lacy, okay?
Because he's fat.
I mean, it was unbelievable. And not only did he look like Eddie Lacy, but you don't know where he's going to be playing this season, and you don't know for who, and you don't know how he's going to fit in, and it's not a Mike D'Antoni offense. And James Harden is a Hall of Fame, unbelievable player. He might be playing in Philadelphia. He might be playing in Brooklyn. He might be playing in Miami. I don't know where he's playing.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's playing for, so I can't project how he's going to be. Not taking him, okay? Anthony Davis, incredible talent. I can't tell you how I'm on social media during NBA games and I read Anthony Davis is headed to the locker room for a shoulder injury. Right? I'm not doing that, okay? Having heart attacks during fantasy basketball games. Giannis I would consider, but I just think that Luka is a little bit more of a triple-double machine, and Giannis struggles from the line. Karl-Anthony Towns, Jokic, great players, but not number 1.
No, all good names. All right. It seems a logical choice on your part. I'll give it to you, Luka Doncic.
Shefty, keep your eyes peeled in later rounds for Seth Curry. Kid's going to put up some numbers this year.
Yeah, well, I Per Sources would have interest in taking him in the right spot, okay? Per Sources already has him slotted relatively high. He is on the radar for Per Sources. I'm just telling you right now.
You know you've made it big, Shefty, when there are people that are sources about you. You've made it big.
What do you mean?
Well, you're saying Per Sources, like, so people are digging in.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. You lost me there for a moment, Bob, but yes, that is accurate.
You have made it. You have made it, my man.
Confirmed.
I will be texting you all day tomorrow. I'm very excited for you. I am not in an NBA draft this year, a fantasy draft this year, so I'm going to live my life through you once again, Shefty.
I got one question. As I watched the Sixers last night, and who watches Sixers preseason basketball? Me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Maxey looks like he's got a bright future, but is Tobias Harris going to be really good again? Like, he's just really good at everything. I mean, is he going to be that guy again?
Yeah, Jamie and I were talking about that earlier, Shefty. Like, and rightfully so. Jamie brought up, Tobias kind of, you don't see much from him. But then you look at the box score, 16 points, 9 rebounds in 25 minutes.
Yeah.
He's going to be a sneaky 20-point scorer on this team. So he'll get you some rebounds also. I think his shooting percentage will be okay. I think his numbers are going to be better. If you like his numbers as, a later round guy, if you like him from last year, his numbers, I think they're going to be even better this year.
Well, okay, well, let me say this. I go by, when I'm drafting, I think of who are the guys who last year I expressed an interest in trading for. And that was a guy that when I looked at it last year, I was interested in trading for. So when Per Sources rolls around in round 4 and 5, picks 57 and 58, that would be a spot that if Mr. Harris were there, I would have an interest in taking him.
All right. We're all for it. So, Schefter, let's get to the business at hand as far as it goes with the Philadelphia Eagles. We saw Jalen Hurts at quarterback. We saw him get a mighty impressive win against a very hot NFC opponent, a team that had a very, very good defense coming into this game. They allowed not one, but two guys to go for 100 yards on the ground. What were your thoughts, and what are the thoughts, throughout the country and throughout the NFL about Jalen Hurts today?
It was about as good a debut as you could hope for. To me, it looked like he was very relaxed, very confident. And it also looked like the offense just sort of opened up for a guy that is able to run and break down a defense, that a defense looks more vulnerable when Jalen Hurts can run. Not that Carson Wentz can't run. He can, and he has. But Jalen Hurts runs in a different kind of way that opens up some possibilities. And it was funny because I was on the phone with the head coach yesterday. We were talking about that, and I said, it's funny how offenses change and defenses look more vulnerable when a guy can run, and it seems like a running quarterback's more important than ever before in this day. And he said to me, and he would know better than I, he said, running quarterbacks have always been vital, and it's not any different today than it was 15, 20 years ago. And I thought it was, but maybe it's just that we're seeing more Josh Allen's and Kyler Murray's and Jalen Hurts's and guys that when they go back there, they can beat you with their arms and their legs. Like, to me, Peyton Manning is a quarterback from the last decade. You know, it's like It's like having the old iPhone. It was great. It was unbelievable when it came out. It's an all-time product. But it's 2020, and we're looking to get the newest model, if that makes any sense.
Sure,
yeah,
absolutely.
Schefter, what's the more likely scenario? That next year the Eagles enter training camp having a true quarterback competition, or one of the two quarterbacks is on a different team next year?
That's a really excellent question. And I guess I'm going to chicken out a little bit and say, no, but it's a practical, realistic answer.
Yeah.
We've got 3 more games to judge them. Let's see who the coach is. Let's see who's making is it Doug? Is it somebody else? Is the season finishing out strong? Is it not? I mean, I don't think you could just you can. You could make it. You could share an opinion and a thought. But I think that story's still being written. You're asking
it totally
me
is.
The ending, and I can't give you the ending because it's still coming out.
If Jalen Hurts leads them to the playoffs, which is hysterical,
hold on. They're a game and a half behind, right?
Yeah, and Week 17 is against Washington, who is the division leader right now.
So. I mean, not to go all Steve Kornacki on you, like, what are the chances that really
slim.
Like, but it's been a weird year, and strange things happen. And the Eagles, in their remaining 3 games, play who?
They're at Arizona.
At
Dallas, home against Washington.
Dallas, at home against Washington.
So really, if they could find a way to win Sunday,
they're kind of sitting in a good spot.
Yeah, like Sunday becomes a really big game for this team. Not to hype it up or anything but it really does. Like, if they could beat Arizona, and this is how you start to think in what has been an otherwise lost season, but if they could beat Arizona, I mean, there's no reason they shouldn't handle Dallas. And then you're playing for the division championship in the last weekend.
Jeez. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're still talking playoffs with this.
So, Schefter, let's live in that dream world.
But am I wrong?
No, you're not. You're
let's
not
live
wrong
in that
at all.
dream world, and let's say Jalen Hurts does lead them to the playoffs in that Week 17 win over Washington. How valuable of a trade asset would he be, knowing the Eagles like you do? Is that something do they want to open a quarterback competition up?
And I'll be honest with you also. I like, when I answer these questions, I like to have spoken to various people across the league and kind of, solicit opinions and then put them onto the hopper and come out with a final judgment. And I haven't really asked anybody that, so I'm kind of going on top of my head. But my instinct is this. if Jalen Hurts leads this team to victories in the final 3 games and they win the division and they go to the playoffs and show well, whatever that means, don't lose the first game 27-0, and it'd be hard not to think that would be the guy that you'd be leaning towards going into next year.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah.
And I know that there's the contract with Carson. You know what? You would have Jalen Hurts on a rookie contract.
Yeah, very attractive.
3 more years, which offsets the cost of Carson's contract, although the Eagles' cap situation is very tricky and messy for next year.
Very.
So they're going to have to make a lot of moves, and they're going to have to do it at a time where the cap is expected to be going down. But here's the thing. They planned for that. They know that that's coming. This isn't catching them by surprise. And so I don't know what moves they have up their sleeve, but I guarantee they have them. I guarantee they have them. And so I'm just saying if Jalen Hurts shows out, Jalen Hurts plays 3 more games the way he did Sunday. It's time to start talking. Okay, well, how are they handling this Carson situation during the offseason? It just is.
Yeah, so that leads me to my next question. We know that the Carson Wentz franchise quarterback contract kicks in next year, and there's a lot of dead money on that. How attractive and look, it's been one bad year. He's been much better than he has been worse throughout his career. How easy or sexy of a trade asset actually is Carson Wentz at this stage right now in his career?
It's funny. I was on the phone with somebody yesterday going over this exact issue. And, this team was assessing it, like Carson. Like, I'm going to be honest. They said to me, what's wrong with him? And I go, what do you mean what's wrong? And they said, well, something must be wrong because the guy was really good and then he just faded. And so the discussion was, well, the skills are there, but we wondered how he's perceived in the locker room. Just wondering, and I don't know the answer to that. You guys haven't been in the locker room this year either, so you don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's also a difficult thing, and I don't know that a lot of people realize. Like, you don't see any of the interaction in the locker room. You see very little of it. I don't know the Eagles. I think there's some reporters that are allowed to, the beginning portions of practices before their shootout. But those questions have come up, and I have in the past, and I have no clue, and I'm being honest, whether they're valid or not. But I do think it's fair to wonder, as somebody who called me yesterday wondered to me, and I said, I got to make some calls on that. I don't know. Booger McFarland pointed out on the other night, there was a quote from Miles Sanders, and I don't think that he's saying it intentionally to take a shot at Carson Wentz by any stretch of the amount, but when you look at the quote, it does come out as a backhanded shot at him. Like, hey, we needed this leadership. We needed somebody to take over. Whatever it was that he said, Booger read the quote on air.
Yeah.
And it was saying Jalen Hurts is this, but it also is saying we didn't have that before. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And Schefter, you make a great point. You talked to a coach who said running quarterbacks are vital. I'm almost comparing it now to all the names that you mentioned of quarterbacks. In the NBA a few years ago, everybody said, oh, man, look at the Golden State Warriors. We got to shoot threes just like them.
Yeah.
You wonder now if people are looking at these running quarterbacks that are having such success and saying, wow, look at that. We need to get a running quarterback. And does that give Jalen Hurts a leg up on a Carson Wentz?
Well, again, come back to my point. I think it's valid. I brought it to this coach yesterday. He's always been that way. I just think it's more so this way. But, when you were drafting a quarterback, let's say 18 years ago, you were taking Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers.
Right.
When you're drafting a guy today, you're taking Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts. How many guys do you see just go back there and just stand there? That's not the model of today. It's just, and in today's game, it's just not. And so even guys that are coming out, Trevor Lawrence, he can move. By the way, I had Trevor Lawrence yesterday. Recorded 20 minutes with him for my podcast next week.
Oh, good. Pretty good?
Very impressive young man. Wow.
deal.
Yeah, I saw
Good
the
deal.
Jets are 78% chance for the number 1 overall pick now.
Yeah.
And not to tease it, I know the fans in New York will be he and I talked about that, and it was very interesting.
Nice. Well, Schefter, listen, we have to
Check
run
that
because we have to spin our holiday wheel. I want to wish you continued good health, stay safe, and also I hope you make it through this blast of a snowstorm that we're supposed to have.
Yeah, and good luck to everybody there in Philly. Stay safe during this snowstorm. Here's my fact of the day. Last year, I think we got, I know in New York we got 4.8 inches of snow the entire year. We're going to get 8 to 12 tonight.
Yeah.
So we will double, triple what we had all of last year.
Good.
Just tonight.
I love a good snowstorm, Schefter.
And Bob, for the last night of Hanukkah, I'd like you to send me a couple of mid-round targets and a couple of late-round targets of guys that you believe, with the limited access we have in this COVID time, have a chance to really pop this year, have a really strong year.
I will do. That will be my 8th night of Hanukkah gift to you, Schefter.
And there is nothing that I would want more than that.
You're the best. All right, Schefter, we'll talk to you next week. Thank you so much.
Have a great day, guys.